Thank you all for being with us here today. We want to welcome you to the performance of our play, Nana Sophia's Oasis. In a moment, the playwright will appear as her character and introduce the cast. The play runs without intermission. After the performance, there will be a 10-minute break, followed by a discussion with the cast, crew, and members of New Dawn, Guatemala. Sit back and enjoy the show.
Oh my goodness me, well hello there everybody. My name is Ruth Rose Plunkett, paleontologist, retired, American born, my maiden name Mitchell, Scottish. Indentured servants they were, came here so they could own their own land. This is my husband, Jasper Daniel Plunkett, retired professor of philosophy, American born. His ancestors ran from the plague and famine. And here we have my sister, Myrtle Estelle Gunnison, American born, from Scottish peasant stock like me, blind as a bat and pretty deaf, which accounts for her loud volume. And my sister insisted that I tell you what we are doing today is sort of like a radio play, only you can see what we're doing. Here we have the apple of my eye, my granddaughter, Angelica Plunkett, American citizen, mixed race, Latinx, Caucasian, adopted from Guatemala. This would be her groom, border guard patrol, Simon Bennington, American citizen, mixed race, Latinx, Caucasian, and, oh no, that's her. What am I saying? His people hearken from Herefordshire in Bonnie, England. And this would be Tina Maria Martinez, Guatemalan born of Mayan ancestry. And this is the great room of the Plunkett condominium in the retirement community in Green Valley, Arizona, where Arizona begins. They call it Little Bit of Heaven. Comfortable furniture, bookcases, a small table, and a Scrabble board 24/7 spread out here, an ice chest, because it's very hot out there. And family photos, rocks, fossils, bones, shells, animal skulls litter every available surface. Out there, a picture window looks out on a large imitation bronze bird fountain with a rim large enough for a cup to rest upon so that passers-by can dip in and have a glass of cold water. And its rim is broad enough to accommodate stale cornbread for animals and other species. Beyond the bird fountain, not far away, is the Arizona-Mexico border. When we are on stage, our hats are up. When we are off stage, they are down. And now, with no further ado, Nana Sophia's Oasis.
Arise, my beloved, he's here.
Oh, Lord in heaven, crazy old Doc, come on back to bed.
Our prodigal has returned.
Well, scare him off with your caterwauling.
Not a bit of it. He loves me truly. Beep, 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 beep. It's him, Mama, our darling Gila woodpecker.
I'm not getting out of bed for anything less than a sandhill crane.
They don't fly this far west people, Rose. Come on out here and take a look. Little tuft on his head, shimmering in the blush of our beauteous Arizona sunrise.
Oh, I'm sure he's mighty pretty, old Doc. But I was having such a fine dream. Our place back at Ole Miss.
Finest specimen of a Gila woodpecker you ever did see.
Old paint peeling off the porch swing, basement smelling of dry rot.
You're off in the netherworld, Mama.
Oh, we had whooping cranes in the early days, Jasper Dan.
Never, Mama. But I do love you for thinking those ratty old stalks was the mighty whoopers.
Oh, no. Mark my word. Oh, the sandhill cranes are coming.
Not on your life, Mama. They stick to the New Mexico side.
Oh, snobs are they?
Migration patterns, don't you know? Deeply ingrained in the avian brain.
Birds migrate like people, following the food and the water.
No water this year.
Exactly. This everlasting drought will drive the sandhills to our little bird fountain, our little oasis in the desert.
Look at that, Mama. You left your International Fossil Society coffee cup out by the bird fountain. By noon, it'll be 110 crack your heirloom in two.
Only thing's gonna crack in two is my head, listening to you.
And by golly, peeps, you've done it again. Snuck our stale cornbread out for the javelina, taking the food out of our mouths for the wild pig. I never.
They're hungry.
They're wild animals, undoubtedly afflicted with pestilence. You'll infect us all.
There's creatures dying every day in the desert.
Law of nature.
Law of nature, my ass. They found another body, a young man, by description, no more than 20 years old.
Terrible thing. But we cannot let the entire starving world into this country.
What would you know? You never starved a day in your life.
Good golly, Miss Molly, what travesty is this? Sysafuss. Sisyphus? Peepy, you sneaky thing, you were up last night ravaging the Scrabble board.
Sisyphus. A cactus or a drink made from one.
Oh, no, you don't. It's the proper noun, misspelled to boot. Sysyphus, a cruel king, doomed forever to roll a huge rock to a hilltop in the underworld, only to have it roll back down.
You must admit, it sounds like a cool drink. Icy cold Sisyphus.
Ah, but mind this, that's a penalty, Mrs. Peepadoo.
Oh,
Hold the phone. Zany. Z-A-N-Y.
oh, slang. Inadmissible.
Look her up, Mama. Double letter on the Z plus triple word score. Come to me, my melancholy baby.
Oh, no double letter on the Z if you get a triple.
Oh, yes, ma'am. 26 times 3, 78 points total.
Oh.
Cuddle up and don't feel blue.
Ah! Now you've done it.
I get no cake from champagne.
You're lighting fires on the warpath.
Mere alcohol doesn't thrill me at all.
My ears, merciful God in heaven, help me. You started, old Doc. You can do the honors.
She's your sister.
She's your problem.
Lydia, oh Lydia, that encyclopedia. Oh Lydia, the tattooed lady. Good morning, Mrs. Gunnison. How are you this fine morning?
Close to death, thanks to you.
Do not begrudge me serenading my dear wife.
Good morning, Sister Myrtle. Did you sleep well?
Sister Ruth, what a dream. I was back home, the air sweet with lilacs. I could see again in all the colors of the rainbow, and I swear I saw General Robert E. Lee himself on his white horse smiling down at me.
You never met General Robert E. Lee in person, sister. You're not that old.
Are you sure I never met General Robert E. Lee?
I swear on a stack of your Bibles, it was our great-grandfather fought for the Confederacy. You and I were swimming in the cosmos at the time, little molecules on the farts of dinosaurs.
Why does she talk like that?
Fancies herself a scientific thinker, don't you know?
My sister never had no proper manners, no attention to her personal appearance, no makeup, no manicure.
I can see the headlines. Murder! in the geriatric ward.
Our mother is surely flipping over and over in her grave like a veritable porpoise. She never let herself go, no matter the depths to poverty to which we descended.
I didn't know what I was doing. Grabbed the iron skillet, and suddenly there she was, slumped over in her wheelchair.
Mother always said it. Ruthie does not know her proper place in the scheme of things. Running down to the creek bed, coming back with those muddy fossils, tracking dirt all over Mother's rose print carpet.
Local paleontologist confesses to the murder of her 84-year-old sibling. I didn't know what I was not in my proper mental state after returning from the fruitful years of field work in the Gobi Desert.
Sister Myrtle, I do believe I'm dead wrong. Not only did you meet General Robert E. Lee, you were married to him.
Well, I never. Are you sure?
I remember what you wore on your wedding day to the great Confederate general.
My wedding day. Sister, you are messing with my intellectual faculties.
Now there's the Gila woodpecker, none too soon. I'll describe him for you, Mrs. Gunnison. I will be your eyes.
My husband was Robert Gunnison, not General Robert E. Lee.
Oh, here you are, darling. Your morning meds. You can chase it with cornbread smeared with aloe vera cactus jelly.
She's trying to poison me, Jasper.
I am merely introducing you to the healing benefits of our local produce.
Where's my Xanax?
How about 2 this morning? 6? 8?
I don't see the grand little fellow.
Oh, Angelica, morning glory, come into the house.
I'm flipping Nana Ruth.
Angelica, honey, a vision of serenity on this shake and bake of a morning.
Oh, you're flushed from the heat.
Auntie Myrtle, you're looking so lovely this morning.
Oh, sugar pumpkin, I'm ever so much better now that you are here.
Water, please, Nana Ruth. It's already 99 degrees in the shade of the Palo Verde.
Could you grace your old sister with a nice cold glass as well?
Ice?
If it's not too much trouble.
Angelica, I'm attempting to adapt to this nightcap and these Arizona jammies you bought me.
They're cute on you.
Oh, too cute for my taste, but I guess it's better than sleeping naked.
I beg to differ.
Hush! Drink up, me lovelies, before the taps dry up and we writhe on the floor from dehydration.
Oh, pipe down. Those old desert monsoons are coming.
Eggs?
No, thank you.
Oh, the bride hasn't much of an appetite.
I can't keep anything down.
You must eat something, child.
2 more days till the wedding. Your mothers will have to carry you down the aisle.
I've been meaning to ask you, Grandpa. I was wondering if it might be better in front of Simon's family if Mama Marcia and Mama Leba sat with Nana Ruth and Auntie Myrtle.
Sitting in a pew I'll never get out.
Grandpa, could you please do me the honor of walking me down the aisle? I know it's not usually a grandfather's function, but having 2 moms, it's just too weird for Simon's family.
I'd be mighty proud to give you away, honey. Our darling Marcia and her Miss Lebo won't be offended at usurping their role.
I don't know. I'm going crazy trying to make everyone happy.
Oh, you're doing a magnificent job, darling girl, in a delicate situation. Oh, I keep pinching myself. How did we get here so fast? Seems like only a heartbeat ago, right, Jasper? We were all assembled at the airport, top of the up escalator. Remember, sister?
Oh my goodness, yes. We all held the balloon in all the colors of the rainbow.
The social worker stepped onto the escalator below us, holding this tiny baby. Oh, what color was it?
Oh, the loveliest shade of pink I ever saw.
Oh, Angelica, you came up the escalator and into our Marcia's arms like ascending a vertical birth canal.
We all wept for joy, even your old grandpa.
It's so great you guys moved out here. I know it's been hard, but it's meant so much to me.
Let me hold your ring again, dear. 1.5 carats?
2. It belonged to Simon's great-grandmother.
Oh, he loves you very much. Oh, my heavenly days, it's in my mind's eye clear as a bell when we came out to visit here where it was as dry as Mississippi was wet. In those days, you and Simon, darling babes, having your jumping contest over the jumping cholla cactus.
I beat him most of the time, too, even though his legs were stronger and longer. He asked me to marry him for the first time when we were only 5.
I was a witness with my seeing eyes. The time you jumped together and landed smack in the prickles like Brer Rabbit himself. I'll spend all night with the tweezers pulling them out. Take care of Angelica first, Simon intoned. A gentleman, even as a boy.
I didn't give you an engagement ring, did I, Beeps?
Oh, times were different.
Must have slipped my mind, so delirious it was with love.
Oh, we were good hippies. Spitting image of an old curtain ring.
Would you like a diamond? I could cash in one of our IRAs.
Oh, where's that iron skillet?
Tell me about your gown.
English lace over white silk.
What did you wear at our wedding?
Overalls.
And a vision you were, Peepa darling. En route to your first trip to Mongolia, the great romance of the Gobi Desert.
Oh, you wore a crisp summer suit with a Panama hat. Jasper Dandy, professor of philosophy.
You were my wild gypsy volcano.
Oh, hush before I hose you down.
Did you bring your wedding gown?
It's still being altered, Auntie.
Oh, well, what's in the bag?
Don't be angry with me, Nana Ruth.
Oh, whatever it is, I'm not wearing it. I got my brown pantsuit.
Oh, that dreadful old thing.
You never saw it.
I did so with my seeing eyes. Went blind the next day. What do you call that, Jasper?
Well, of course, and effect.
My sister's brown pantsuit is fit only for digging fossils.
Nana Ruth, just take a look at it.
Oh, great evolutionist and the Nososphere, give me patience.
Pay no attention to her godless evocations. Let me hold it, sugar pie, please. Time for some modern blend. What color?
It has a black bodice with a skirt of blue and periwinkle cream.
Ruth the Rose will be a vision. I'm off, dearest.
What? Off? You jest.
No, ma'am. It's a very serious matter. I'm subbing for the Unitarian minister that finally let him out of jail for harboring the illegals in the church basement.
Oh.
He's been on a post-incarceration holiday spree ever since.
Grand of you to step in, Grandpa. What's your topic?
Aristotle and Marx, thinkers who shaped the modern world for good or ill.
Don't leave me with these Barbie dolls. Angelica, you know how happy I am for you and Simon.
If it were just a simple wedding here on the patio.
Oh, what a spectacular idea. I just know the sandhills would come. You'd be married to the trumpeting of 1,000 cranes.
But his family's very traditional.
Everything picture perfect.
And what's wrong with that? I guess this is my chance, really, finally, to be part of something normal.
Oh, even your old granny's part of the show.
A huge part of it. You and Grandpa are happily heterosexual.
Angelica, I won't have such language in this house.
Sorry, Auntie Myrtle. My moms are totally cool about the wedding attire. They went all out on these fancy pantsuits. Mama Marcia said, perfect look for the discriminating desert dyke.
How can we have a dike when we have no water?
Nana Ruth, It's not like I've asked a lot of you in all these years. It's just a dress for one day, my day, the day out of all the rest that has to be, needs to look good. Nana Ruth, think about it, please. Where's that phone I got you? Text me when you've tried it on and looked at yourself in the mirror.
Oh, yes, ma'am. Oh. Trapped. Like an old pigeon in a wild cage. No windows, no doors. Get on out of here, Gila woodpecker. Oh, you all know, Gila woodpecker. You're staring at me through the glass door like you're on your last legs. Habla inglés?
Yes,
Oh, are you thirsty?
yes.
See the coffee mug by the fountain? You can get a drink. The water's clean.
I broke your beautiful cup. I am so sorry.
Oh, you can't come in here.
It slipped from my hands.
Oh, shh. My sister will wake up.
May I come in to get a drink?
Oh, you'll be the death of me. Hush, hush. Come on. Hurry. Oh,
Thank you. Here are the pieces of your cup.
oh, not too bad. I can fix it. Here, drink up. You were hurting from a mighty thirst.
May I have more?
Oh, yes. Oh, your feet, they're bleeding.
I'll stain your floor.
Your shoes are plumb worn through.
It was a very long walk.
Oh, you're starving. Would you like cornbread with aloe vera cactus jelly?
Oh, yes, thank you. Oh, such goodness I have never known. It is true. You are Nana Sophia.
Who?
Sophia, the most beloved angel in heaven. One day, Sophia looked down over the edge of heaven and saw the terrible suffering on the earth. She wept so bitterly, she fell down into the poorest, most dangerous street in the world. Sophia brought the light of heaven to those who suffered the most. We call you Nana Sophia of the Oasis. You give to us water from your bird fountain, your cornbread.
Oh, my goodness. Nana Sophia? I had no idea. I was so notorious. I just noticed one night the wild javelina eating their fill of my stale cornbread, and I saw a human hand reach out of the darkness and scoop up the crumbs. What am I doing? I said. The wild pig is no endangered species, whereas humans? Well, after that, I put out fresh cornbread with lots of cheese cooked in, protein, don't you know? Oh, I'll do what I can to fix you up, but you must get out of here before my sister wakes up.
She's not well.
Oh, something weakened her heart on that long trip out from Mississippi.
You have crossed borders too.
Oh, we are strangers still in this arid land.
This is a place for mature people.
Aren't you the little diplomat? Little bit of heaven where Arizona begins.
You aren't happy here.
Oh, looks like prickers from a jumping cholla cactus on your ankles. Did you cross the desert by yourself?
Yes, but I'm not alone. I'm with child.
Oh, your spouse is here in the States? Oh, no esposo?
No esposo.
Oh, I heard from our housekeeper that the verb esposar also means to handcuff.
With all my heart, I want to be cuffed to the papa of my baby, my Miguel. I do not know where he is.
Oh,
Border Patrol?
shh. Oh, it's a big black van. Guys in uniform.
What do I do?
Act like you're her nursemaid. You know, I will go out and see what these guys want.
Robert, is that you, dearest?
Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are.
Oh,
There it comes. coming to arrest me?
Oh, no. Damn water use survey. How many times a day do you flush the toilet? Do you comply with the mandatory no mush, no flush?
I am frightened, Nina Sophia.
Oh, it's getting harder and harder to live in this country illegally. God willing you find your Miguel, you must go home.
Guatemala. We will die there. The cartel knocked on Miguel's door. Join us or die. They were after me to be a sex slave for drug runners.
Sister, it's your darn old hula monster. Feed him before he pounds the house down.
Yes, sister darling. Take her to the bedroom. Down the hall to the left. Keep singing Twinkle, twinkle, little star. How I wonder what you are. Oh. Hello there.
Nana Ruth, not out of your pajamas.
Oh, dear boy, hardly recognized you out of uniform.
My chief knows I will be totally useless on patrol until we get past this wedding thing.
Oh, better hurry on now. Angelica's waiting for you at the bakery to approve that wedding cake.
Can't a guy get a glass of water? It's already 100 in the shade of the Palo Verde.
Pretty soon all we'll have is the water in the toilet.
Oh, don't remind me. I've been barfing all morning.
Not too keen on this fancy wedding, are you? Better go up and meet with your intended, you know. Oh, she'll calm you right down.
Oh, don't bet on it. She's as jittery as a butterfly on the 4th of July.
It'll all be over in 48 hours.
Oh, promise? Are these binoculars new?
Oh, Audubon special. You can pick out the wingtip on a bush tit.
Well, I can see shards of some porcelain broken. Hey, somebody could step on that.
Oh, look, Simon, Angelica dropped off this beauteous outfit for me. Why don't you wear it? The groom comes out of the closet in periwinkle cream.
What's the matter, Nana Ruth? You're shaking.
Am I?
I'm sorry. I'm not being very sensitive. It's a big deal. Your only granddaughter's wedding.
Oh, the wedding. Oh, yes. I'm a nervous wreck.
Everything's going to be okay. Come on. We all need you to be the eye at the center of the storm.
We're like a cross-eyed tornado.
We have to make a pact, you and me. We'll get through this together. Calm each other down.
Oh, you're a good man, Simon. I know you got a lot of things weighing on you. I'm mighty sorry it was you found that body the other day.
I never get used to it. And this was a young guy, all dried up.
You don't know his name or anything, do you?
His name? Why would you care?
Oh, I don't care. I'm just curious from a purely forensic perspective.
Oh, this isn't the same as identifying a goshawk or a pterodactyl bone, Nana Ruth. The illegals don't have name tags. It takes so long to process them.
Like Velveeta cheese.
Oh. Now you're describing my stomach.
Yeah.
Okay. Need anything at the bakery?
Birdseed.
What kind?
Wedding bell blend.
Oh, I need your help. In a forensic sense. Word has it somebody here at Little Bit of Heaven is feeding and smuggling in the illegals.
Oh, my heavens. No. My neighbors are out on the golf course at 4 a.m. They never mess with politics.
Well, somebody's playing Harriet Tubman. White folks think they can't go to jail. I'll haul them all in. And their accomplices. You'll be my mole, Nana Ruth?
That's me. A burrowing vertebrate headed for extinction.
Someone's on the patio. Oh, it's a Gila woodpecker, Nana Ruth. Isn't that your favorite bird?
Oh, my, no. I reserve that spot in my heart for the sandhill crane.
They don't fly this far west.
Oh, you're late. Go.
Delirious, are we, Mama?
Oh, that was short. Who won? Aristotle or Marx?
No respect left in the world for great ideas. What good is Aristotle when we have no water, they cried.
Well, you can hardly blame them. They're looking to you to illuminate meaning in this climate-decimated 21st century, and you drag out that creaky old Greek and that hairy communist?
I've plenty of my own ideas.
Oh, bless you, dear man. Let's hear it, your own ideas. I've been waiting 50 years for the Plunkett Manifesto.
No, Mama. At this rate, we'll get 10 years to life for flushing the toilet, hauled into cells like rats, just for leaving your pitiful little recycling bird fountain.
I have a permit for that fountain.
Yes, ma'am. Goodness me, you look flushed, Peepa darling.
I suffer from mental stagnation. Oh, look at this. I can spell hedonics. Hedonics.
Hedonics. How wet night. Scrap look, guys.
The branch of philosophy that studies pleasant and unpleasant sensations and states of mind.
I love it when you recite definitions.
It's coming. The Lord has sent for me. His darling angel. She's in my room. I hear her sweet breath.
False, Mama?
Oh, goodness me. Now, let's just, I believe you every word, sister darling. Let's just make sure this is a friendly visitation, not the final call.
No, sir. She's real. So close to God, he sent me a breathing angel.
Oh,
If this is the end, I'm taking my fortune sewn into the curtains. Help me rip it out, sister. My Confederate money.
oh, God does not want your money, sister.
How would you know a thing about it? God saw a whole family through the Great Depression. It's payback time.
Yes, dear, please, calm yourself. How do I tell her we left the worthless Confederate money in the curtains back home?
Toad, I can tear up some newspaper if it comes to that.
Who raised 9 children while Papa was in the unemployment line?
You did, sister dearest.
Who ate the gizzard every Sunday so the rest of you could get meat on your bones?
Our darling sister Myrtle.
God is longing for our Confederate treasure. I can hear Grandmother's voice clear as a bell. Myrtle, precious, take the money to the pearly gates.
Still with us?
Oh, she'll live to be 100.
Will we?
Oh, we'll get an extension for taking care of her.
You do love the crazy old thing, don't you?
Oh, you.
Come to bed, Esmeralda.
Oh, hold your little horse, old Doc.
He's bucking to get out of the stable ever since you spelled hedonics.
Go on in. I'll meet him in the pasture.
Sister, are we in the jungle?
Oh, no, dear. Gorillas on the Nature Channel.
Are you sure? It reminds me of something, some sweet song from long ago.
Oh.
Coming, my little orangutan?
Glory be. The elf owls are coming in to roost. I just want to peek. Oh, divine feminist in the universal mind. Don't let him jump on the bed. He'll break his neck. How did you get past my husband?
He was in a very great hurry to get to the bedroom.
Oh, I'll bet. I want you to try on my tennis shoes.
But these are yours.
Oh, I have more shoes than Imelda Marcos. Never mind. You'll be gratified to know you have been dubbed the breathing angel.
Does your sister have her right mind?
Oh, a few loose screws. But you have inadvertently opened her heart.
I did nothing.
Oh, just being in the room with her is the ticket. She misses having her dear departed husband breathing next to her. She hears your sweet breath. She thinks you're an angel come to take her to heaven.
The horse is on the ground, old mare.
Pack him on ice for a few, old Doc.
You must go to your husband.
I am no harem girl. This is Arizona. My shoes fit you.
I'm grateful. I'll send you money.
Oh, forget it. Have you any idea where you're headed?
I can go nowhere until Miguel is free.
What's your name?
Tina Maria Martinez.
I'm Ruth Plunkett, or by your measure, Nana Sophia.
What sort of convention is going on out there, Ruthie Rose?
Aristotle versus Marx on YouTube.
Get in here this minute, Mama. The pistol is loaded.
Oh, pipe down. I will come in when I'm good and ready. I'm so sorry, but you can't stay here.
I could be the angel for your sister. Give her medicine. Read to her from the Bible. Make sure she drinks plenty of water.
Oh, a permanent caregiver. That means I could
Fly out of this cage.
back to the Gobi Desert.
Then in Arizona.
No, Mongolia. Look at this. Toe print of a baby triceratops.
This baby crossed the border millions of years ago.
With its mama, following the food and the water. Then, as now, there are no borders when it comes to survival of the species. This triceratops mama had no choice but to migrate from a hostile climate to a fertile one.
You were very wise, Nana Sophia. Did you make that beautiful dress?
Oh, not on your life. My granddaughter bought that damn frilly thing for me to wear to her wedding, trying to parade me out like some uppity matriarch for Simon's family. I told her, I'm not putting it on.
It is so beautiful. If you do not wear this dress, you say no to your granddaughter's love, Nana Sophia. You are very kind, but you do not know the riches you have.
What? I never thought of it like that. My granddaughter, she's from your part of the world, adopted from one of those triangle countries, Honduras, Nicaragua. No, I think it was your Guatemala. Her mother was Latinx. Her father must have been white, whoever he was. She pretends she's not mixed race.
Who can blame her?
I'm counting, Ruthie Rose. 1, 2.
Oh, I'm coming, you old torpedo. When I return, you must be gone.
Madre de Dios y mis ancestros de la Maya, wherever he is, keep my Miguel safe. Send my love to him and guide me, por favor. What do I do in this house of crazy people? I'm lost. Madre de Dios, be with me. Ah, Madre y su hijo, you are here. Gracias.
Hello?
Buenos dias.
Who are you?
Buenos dias.
Good morning. I don't speak Spanish.
Oh, you're American.
Yes, I am. You're a friend of my grandparents?
You're the bride, the granddaughter who gave your Nana the beautiful dress.
Oh, she showed it to you.
I told her it is your love in every stitch. She must wear it, or she says no to your love.
It has nothing to do with love.
All the things in the wedding, the flowers, the clothing, the sparkle of your earrings, all expressions of love.
Are you from the Audubon Society or something?
Your mother is your Nana's daughter. She and your father must be so proud.
I don't have a father.
Unless God made another Concepción Immaculata, you have a father.
You're not from the Audubon Society. How'd you get in here?
Your Nana opened the door.
And why would she do that?
I was thirsty.
Oh my God!
Oh, sister, you're dead right. Morning Glory is here, practicing her wedding vows, no doubt.
Darling girl, speaking to yourself out of sheer discombobulation.
Where's Grandpa?
He slipped out before daylight to greet the dawn chorus in the desert.
So he's in the dark.
Oh,
I'm getting married tomorrow.
oh,
All the more reason to clear things up. You owe the Lord an apology for your language.
oh, I swear to God, Angelica, this will not disrupt your wedding.
Are you blind?
Of course I am. No need to shout.
I didn't mean you, Auntie Myrtle.
I am attempting to bear my disability with dignity.
And doing a magnificent job, sister. There is a larger principle at work here.
To hell with your larger principle. This is my life.
Angelica, you are to conduct yourself with respect in this house. You owe our Lord an apology.
Yes, ma'am. Dear Lord, I'm sorry I said hell.
Much better, dear. Now that wasn't so bad, was it? Why do you need to practice your vows when our dear preacher will read them to you?
Aren't you and Simon writing your own vows? That part about promising to obey your husband, that went the way of the dinosaurs.
Don't listen to her, sugar pumpkin. Next she'll want you to write into your vows that the bride and groom evolved from the slime of the sea.
My sister is a cardinal example of the reptilian brain.
My Roberts, both of you. Old Bob Gunderson and General Robert E. Lee, man of my dreams. My grandniece is writing her own wedding vows, and my sister is proud we evolved from the slime of the sea. What do you Roberts think about that? Neither one of those polecat Bobs has an opinion in this. Hold the phone. My star, she is here, in this room, my breathing angel. Yesterday I asked her questions. What does God's face look like? Is there a line at the pearly gates? Will I be able to see again once I'm down here on earth? She answered in that sweetest voice I've ever heard, the voice of an angel. Told me exactly what to expect, down to the bath of light that will shine into my seeing eyes as the gate opens, welcoming my soul to heaven. Awake this morning, she's no longer in my room. I wonder what I did to send her away. Now I hear her sweet breath. She's among us, sister. Can you see my beautiful breathing angel?
Oh, yes, sister. I see her. Oh, glory, hallelujah. Oh. She's just taken a cat nap.
Don't be angry with me that I played angel for your sister. You made her so happy.
Oh. This is my granddaughter, Angelica Plunkett. This is Ms. Tina Martinez.
An honor to know you. I am soon to be Senora Miguel Rodriguez. You too are to have a new name?
In Arizona, I can keep my own name.
Oh, everybody must be starving. How about I rustle up some frozen flapjacks?
My name is who I am, Angelica Plunkett.
You are adopted. Have you no desire to know where you came from?
I came from the United States of America.
You are truly blessed.
That's not what you're thinking.
It is not for me to say.
Hell, you don't have to be so damn polite. If you're gonna crash into this country, you might as well learn to be as brash as an American.
I think you're like me, born of the blood of the Maya, from our home, Guatemala.
How do you know?
I see it in your eyes, the curve of your face, your hands.
What's wrong with my eyes? You're whacked, lady. I am not descended from drunks and drug dealers.
Oh, Angelica, knock it off.
No, she speaks the truth. I know of the evil that has a hold on my country. I run from it with all my soul, but it is not who we are.
Nana Ruth, what's going on here?
I don't know. I'm terrified, but somehow I feel exhilarated. I woke up this morning singing like a sandhill crane. Caw, caw! I haven't felt like this since the field days in the Gobi Desert. Before you came, Miss Tina, I was locked away in cold storage, turning into a fossil myself.
Oh, we're not exciting enough for you?
Oh, honey, I didn't mean it that way.
Didn't you? My wedding is just a bunch of fluff, a show, not some earth-shaking dinosaur discovery or wild act of heroism that's going to land us all in jail.
Oh, Angelica, please don't do this.
Ah, the wedding party.
Oh.
How do you like my tuxedo? Finest rental suit on the rack.
You look like James Bond's grandfather.
Somebody has to uphold the decorum of this family.
Oh, undignified, am I?
Parading about in your pajamas in front of this delightful young person. I am the grandfather of the bride, Jasper Daniel Plunkett. The bridesmaid, I presume. Good fit around the shoulders.
Very handsome, senor.
Hear that, Mama?
Must we have words after a night of such delightful carnal calisthenics?
It was delightful, wasn't it? You were like the rose of your namesake, each petal quivering with consummate satisfaction. Have you been helping Angelica write her vows? I'm partial to Shakespeare. Let me not to the marriage of true minds admit impediments.
Grandpa, this woman is not from my wedding party.
A paleontologist? Mama, now is not the time to bring in a colleague to update you on the Gobi Desert.
No, Grandpa. This colleague came out of another desert much closer to home.
Is she what I think she is?
She is not a what?
Hello? What? What? Oh, God. We'll be right there. The drought wrecked the flowers for the wedding they were shipping in. The shop can't fill the order for our wedding.
Oh, what? No roses?
No roses, no gardenias. We have to pick from some genetic mutations they flew in from Shanghai.
Godless blossoms from a communist country.
I'm so sorry.
Don't be sorry. Get her out of here.
Why don't you take my sister to her room? I'll bring in breakfast.
I'm so sorry I make trouble for this wedding.
Oh, Angelica's used to getting her way in all things. This is good for her.
Ruth, I do appreciate your tender heart.
Like hell. You appreciate when I uphold the scientific method in all things.
Tearing your granddaughter's nerves asunder.
What the hell am I supposed to do? I can't toss that kid back in the desert.
Why not? Abort the experiment.
She is not a specimen.
You retired too early, making a research cohort out of everything that passes by the window.
Where's your white sheet?
Oh, no, you don't, Ruth Plunkett. Doesn't make me a racist just because I'm not climbing on your bandwagon. I like my life in the home of the brave and the land of the free. Thank you very much. I want to spend the rest of my days sipping iced tea on the patio, beating the hell out of you at Scrabble. Might even take up golf.
These four walls are veritable paradise for you. I feel like I'm living in an old fallout shelter, hiding behind my fossils like you're hiding behind other people's dead ideas.
I won't have you demeaning the likes of Aristotle and Thomas Jefferson.
Oh, to hell with Thomas Jefferson.
You don't mean that.
For once, I wish you would go beyond the luminaries in your head and think for yourself.
Let's say I do that. What solution would I come up with that could satisfy both your bleeding heart and my Aristotelian rational self-interest?
I don't know. But until some rational, humanitarian cause presents itself, Tina and her unborn child are staying right here, where she can breathe on my sister and bless her waning time on this earth with rapturous stories of the hereafter.
Unborn baby. My God, that's what got into you. Late life maternal hormones run amok.
No, Jasper, I hung up my ovaries years ago. This is about Tina.
Who needs to go back where she belongs.
Where does she belong? Guatemala? So some drug runner can gun her down for not putting out?
Why is that our problem?
It isn't. And it is.
Fine. Set yourself on fire. I'm not going there.
I'm not asking you to.
You are totally on your own in this.
Accept entire independent responsibility.
I'm out of here. Checking into a motel till you come to your senses.
Oh, that may be a cold day in hell.
You don't even believe in hell.
Depends on your definition. Whatever it is, I think we're in it. Well, have fun at the Holiday Inn. Oh, Simon, you brought me a roadkill king snake.
Isn't she beautiful?
Oh, finest specimen I ever did see.
Damn illegal, Sar. And starting beating her with a stick. I screamed, king snake, not a rattler, not poisonous. Too late.
Oh, they didn't know better.
You're defending the aliens.
I'm defending the humans. Plenty of native Arizonans would have beat a snake to death and then looked for a rattle later. When Marcia was a baby, I'd have stomped a horny toad for fear it'd spit on her.
What's the matter, Nana Ruth? You look like you've had your head in the oven.
Just a bit dizzy trying to follow your anti-humanistic perspective.
Look at this beautiful snake. You value it as much as I do. Preservation of wildlife, art, science, our culture. I don't believe you embrace the idea of Tucson turning into one barrio after another, families with 12 kids driving down the streets in lowriders, people who don't know any better using dinosaur fossils to tile their bathrooms.
Forgive me, Simon. I find it hard to believe that your Orwellian hypothesis is reality.
Oh, with all due respect, Nana Ruth, I think I'm more in touch with reality than you are. I see it every day, where this country is headed. I'm proud we're cracking down on these aliens.
Aliens? They're not from outer space.
Aren't they? The galaxy of lowriders and snake killers?
Oh, you're about to marry a woman adopted from that very part of the country you're so scared of.
Angelica's an American citizen.
Right, but she wasn't born that way.
She was raised right here in Arizona, and she's legal.
Oh, that's what freaks you out so much. These kids running from death and corruption aren't legal.
Damn right. It's my job. I'm under a lot of pressure to bring in the gang that's sneaking these kids into a little bit of heaven. They could get 5 years for aiding and abetting.
Oh, what if this so-called gang doesn't have that long to live? How would that sit on your conscience?
No deep questions today, Nana Ruth, please. Not this morning. I don't know if I can stand up tomorrow without hurling all over my bride.
Oh, you'll be fine.
How did you feel the day before you married Jasper?
Oh, I don't remember.
Oh, like hell you don't. What was it, dry mouth, diarrhea, panic attacks? I feel like I'm coming down with hot flashes.
Does Angelica know?
It started yesterday when I found the body. I started burning all over. Last night, Angelica didn't spend the night at my place. Oh, I'm sorry. She told me not to tell you.
Oh, it's fine, Simon. I know you two do it. And we're just so happy that you two found your way back to one another after so many failed experiments with other partners.
So I'm lying there, alone, thinking about death, thinking this is the last night I'll be sleeping without her for the rest of my life. I'm crazy about Angelica. I'd give anything to make her happy. But I don't know. I just started getting really freaked out, looking down the long tunnel, till death do us part.
Oh, I remember now. The night before the wedding, I was staying at Mom and Daddy's house. I threw up so many times, Mama called the doctor, gave me something really strong to calm my nerves.
Ooh. Like a Xanax or a Valium.
Sister's got both.
I'll take them. Oh, it's a text from Angelica. She's out running errands and needs me to go to the flower shop and approve the genetic mutations. What?
Oh, you can't drive after taking that cocktail.
Can you take me?
Oh, in my pajamas.
Oh, nobody cares. Please, I might do something crazy, like buy a Venus flytrap boutonniere.
There are worse things could happen. Oh, you rest here on the Scrabble board, darling Ms. King Snake. When I come back, I'll dip you in formaldehyde. You'll love it.
What a beautiful king snake. Someone beat you. I'm sorry.
You're still here? What are you doing with the rattlesnake?
King snake. She's dead. Will your Nana prepare her for dinner?
Hell no, we don't eat endangered species. Nana Ruth collects roadkill, she cuts away the flesh, and looks at the bones under a microscope. Kind of gross, huh?
This is not a roadkill. She was beaten to death. For the Maya, the serpent can be a very powerful nagual, a human in an animal form. Our culture values and protects animals. We would never kill a king snake or a rattlesnake. See the woods in this creature. I have some strong feelings. Am I part of something sacred or something to be beaten back? What is it, señorita?
I just got this strange feeling when you said that, like remembering something. I don't know what. You have a weird way of talking. Most people I know don't talk about stuff being sacred.
Sagrada.
I really don't speak Spanish.
Neither did our ancestors.
Yours, not mine.
You do not believe each of us has a destination.
You mean destiny?
Somewhere we are going that comes from the soil of our ancestors.
I see the Indians on reservations around here sitting by the side of the road selling trinkets.
This is why I want to shed my old life, to make a future in America, to study, to work hard, to do something with my life that is good. But it has no meaning for me if I throw away the sacred soil of my ancestors. Then I'm only one more person in America who lives only for what I can get.
You're making me dizzy.
I too have no father. He was killed protecting me from the cartel when I was 16. My mother and me, we fled to the countryside where the Mayan people have struggled for centuries against genocide and oppression. Now it is the oppression of the climate. Poor farmers can grow nothing in the dry earth. We were forced to return to the city and its dangers. I found strength in the stories of my mother, the healing wisdom of the Nagual, humans who become hawks and see from above with different eyes, snakes who crawl beneath the surface of our troubled world.
I don't believe in fairy tales.
No fairy tales, señorita. The stories of the Maya are symbols of a deep truth. Can you look at yourself and say, I know who I am, the soil I came from, and it is good.
I hate looking at myself. I never look pretty enough.
You're not looking with your real eyes.
Right now, All I can see is my wedding day.
You see the soul of your beloved, and he sees you. Your Auntie Myrtle, she's so happy for your wedding, and so sad her eyes cannot see the beauty of your dress, the flowers, the expressions of your love.
I will paint a picture for her with words.
Your wedding day, above all others, you will hold in your heart.
For once, everything gets to be perfect. Clothes, food, lighting. Those mutant communist flowers, all of it color coordinated down to the last petal. All our friends will be there. We even got the top band in southern Arizona.
Everyone will see how happy you are. When I find Miguel, we will go to an American priest, and he will marry us in the national park, beneath the mightiest cactus in the world.
You'd like that?
Nothing could be more beautiful. My Miguel will pick for me a bouquet of wildflowers, and he has a beautiful voice. He will sing of our love. A love that will last para siempre, forever.
What will you wear?
I had not thought about it. I could wear this.
Nana Ruth? What? I'll be right there. Put this snake in the ice chest or it'll begin to stink. You will be gone when I get back.
I'm sorry to put you in this ice chest, Mama King Snake. If I could, I would give you a proper burial in the earth, under the stars of our ancestors.
Got my toothbrush, Mama. Who are the tears for?
My Miguel, it is very dangerous for a woman on the border. Many have been raped or forced into prostitution to buy food. Miguel found a way for us to cross into the desert. I wasn't able to keep up in my condition. He found shade. Rest, my dearest, he said. I'll go for water. But he never came back.
Wow, such good English, Chiquita.
A nun at our church school, she said, you will need English to survive. The politics of your country can flip like a dolphin in a heartbeat. Your vice president came to Guatemala. She's kind, but silly to think she has power with men who have their dirty hands in every pot. If we are here in America, there is hope for us and our child.
You've got to find your hope somewhere else.
Your wife is not so mean of a soul.
My wife is a scientist above all, a mother, grandmother, and all that, but she has the mind of a man. To her, you are above all an opportunity for her observation. Once she's done figuring you out, a rational self-interest will kick in. I've seen it this these 55 years. Where is she now? Reading to her sister?
Miss Murder sleeps.
Ruth's not here.
She's on a quick errand, and she'll come at the door at any moment.
Perfect time for me to call Border Patrol. Rats, Simon's on voicemail.
Your wife will be angry with you.
That's nothing new.
Miss Murder will cry, where's my breathing angel?
We'll tell her you had to hot-foot it back to heaven.
Senor, have you ever felt the kicking of a child in the womb?
What if I have?
Your daughter, Angelica's mama?
A prize-fighter she was, still is.
Then you could tell me. Do I have a daughter, a dancer, or a soldier?
Yours is more like my granddaughter, reaching out to the world, never satisfied with its imperfections.
Thank you. Tell me more about the miracle it has been for you to be a father, a grandfather. Please.
you drag him in here all by yourself?
Simon's passed out in a drug coma.
It's just performance anxiety.
Bullshit, Nana Ruth. He bought a Venus flytrap boutonniere. He hates me.
Oh, men just have to go through these things.
Where did he get the drugs?
Does it matter?
Maybe he really doesn't want to marry me.
Oh, honey, of course he does.
Maybe I'm making a huge mistake, Nana Ruth. God, not more aliens. Ugh, Javelina.
Oh, see if we have any more Nilly wafers. The pigs love them.
Never mind the pigs. I'm starving. Nothing. Simon doesn't love me. You're packing an alien into the bedroom, and we're out of cookies.
I can't be responsible for everything in the nososphere.
What the hell is the nososphere?
Oh, I admit, it sounds very unscientific. But I'm of a mind that true science includes the unseen, gnosis, knowledge, the universal mind.
Why don't you just call it God?
Well, because people like my sister pray to God like he's some white dude on a white cloud that's going to take care of everybody. The nososphere is something we influence. Everything we do, every thought, every dream becomes part of the known world.
By that logic, you created this whole damn fiasco.
Well, fell right into that, didn't I?
You've turned into Mother Teresa. Everyone in the world is more important to you than your own family.
Oh, no, honey, never that. But I'm of two minds about this. I told Tina she's got to get out of here. But she's having a baby that needs protecting in this crazy world. Family, in the end, is all we have. Isn't that why you're going through all this? Because you love Simon more than light and life and reason?
Oh, God help me, Nana. I'm a horrible person. All I can think about is how Tina talks about her Miguel and their star-crossed love.
Oh, dear. Well, their situation exacerbates that fantasy.
A fantasy? I think it's more than that. The way she talks about the soil of her Mayan ancestors, stories handed down from generation to generation. She says there's a whole part of me that I don't know anything about. Like the person I see in the mirror isn't the all of me.
Oh, you've just got bride brain. I told Marcia to give you a bachelorette party. She said the very idea of a male strip joint offends her deep feminism.
I love her deep feminism. She's right.
Why does this matter all of a sudden? I'm just saying that this last-minute buyer's remorse is normal.
The only person I've been selling a load of crap to is myself. Tina said, am I part of something sacred or something to be beaten back? What am I part of, Nana Ruth?
You never asked these questions when you were growing up.
I didn't want it to matter. I pretended I was as American as everyone else so I'd fit in. Now I discover not only am I most likely Guatemalan, Mayan, with a mythological past, I'm also the granddaughter of Nana Sophia of the Oasis. It's weird. I never thought you cared so much about people.
That's what I thought too. Pined over the elusive sandhill crane, yearned for the great Gobi Desert and the bones it yielded. Now, I'm suddenly aware of a different species and its migration patterns. Lo and behold, it is my own species. It's not a bad thing, honey, to discover something hidden in yourself, no matter your age or stage of life.
I want what Tina and Miguel have. Para siempre, a love that lasts forever, even beyond death. Do you feel that with Grandpa?
Oh, one long Scrabble game into the abyss of time. Whew, that's a lot to ask for.
Is it? Am I asking too much? To know who the hell I am?
Oh, no, man. You keep on asking it year after year.
Nana Ruth, do me a favor. Whatever you do, don't wear that periwinkle rose dress tomorrow.
Oh, why?
Because it isn't you.
Oh, honey. Well, I've been thinking it's mighty selfish of me to make such a fuss over your choice of my attire. It's your day, not mine. Tina says everything in the wedding is an expression of your love. I should honor that above all things.
I do appreciate your offer of altruistic surrender to the greater good.
Sounds like one of Jasper's notions.
No doubt. Let's just put your offer on hold until I figure out what's really in my heart and what's just dumb show.
Oh. Oh, well, Tina, Sister Myrtle, welcome to the party.
Is the groom with fever?
Hell no. Passed out in a drug coma. You've got to get out of here before Simon wakes up.
I'm confused. Who needs to get out of here? Me? I'm an embarrassment to the wedding party in my depleted state.
Oh, dearest sister, no.
Home? You are sending me home? What joy. Just park me under the magnolia in the town square. I can already smell the sweet blossoms, feel the humidity like mint coats surrounding me. I'll be needing some, the serpent from the Garden of Eden.
No, Auntie, it's just one of Nana Ruth's specimens.
I've been one of her specimens my whole life. Where's my breathing angel? She can tell me if this serpent is God's calling me to heaven.
It is a roadkill king snake. Tragedy.
My angel.
No, Miss Myrtle. I'm not an angel. I'm a refugee from Guatemala. I fled the violence in my country to seek asylum here. The picture of me in your mind must be of a human girl, of the Mayan Indian. My Miguel and I, we are to have a baby. If you can forgive me, I would be so proud to stay here and care for you.
You are real?
Yes, Mrs. Myrtle.
An illegal alien?
Yes. If I had stayed in Guatemala, I would be dead, or forced into sex slavery to a drug lord. I'm sorry to shock you, Mrs. Myrtle, but that is reality.
And you are with child?
If she's a girl, I'll call her Esperanza, hope.
If it's a boy?
Corazon, a boy with a heart.
Oh, they will call him Corey.
Who?
His classmates.
Nana Ruth, stop it. She's got to get out of here.
You are Guatemalan?
Yes, ma'am.
An Indian? Didn't the whites slaughter the Tohono O'odham people here in Arizona?
Oh, I think their transition was peaceful, but there was plenty of slaughter all over our great nation.
The Tohono O'odham people weren't illegal aliens.
No, we were.
Nana Ruth, we need a history lesson now.
I'm just telling my sister the truth.
I'm supposed to get married in the morning.
Supposed?
Are you a Presbyterian?
No, I am a Roman Catholic.
Ugh.
We both believe in our Lord Jesus, his mother Mary.
You lied to me. Let me think you were a spirit sent by the divine. I can forgive your illegal immigration status, but a lying Catholic I cannot abide.
The deal breaker is that she's a Catholic. You're more of a dinosaur than I ever thought, sister.
Our Lord counseled forgiveness. I am so sorry. I want to stay and take care of you with all my heart.
Mama, you shot the groom.
Grandpa Simon took drugs.
Drugged him, did you?
Oh, the boy was a nervous wreck. I was only trying to help.
Nana Ruth, you did this?
I knew I was down a Valium, Xanax.
Poor old Simon passed out in the Ruth Plunkett coma.
I just didn't want him to suffer.
We all suffer. Haven't you read the Dalai Lama?
When did you read the Dalai Lama?
Books on tape. Christ and Buddha, birds of a feather. I moved here with my sister and her loud, talking husband, not because I relish learning to tune my ears, which is all I have left, to the desert environment, but because the children asked us to come. My niece, her roommate, my lovely grandniece, our sweet Angelica, I said yes. I will give up waking to the morning song, so varied, so unpredictable, of the Mississippi mockingbird. What I want to ask you, my angel, is, what are the sounds of Guatemala, your home?
My earliest memories are of the countryside. When I was a little girl, I heard the pat, 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 mama in the kitchen making the tortillas, the singing of the boy in the fields, the call of the Mayan bird, mama's voice, Tinita, eat your breakfast before you go out to play.
How hard it must have been for you to leave your mama.
Oh yes. She gave us $40 she borrowed from everyone in our church, and she said, take this money, run, live. Do you know what it is to be poor? To be hunted like a dog, Mrs. Murdo?
I certainly know the degradation of poverty, and I saw the horrors of racism visited upon people we used to call colored in Mississippi, an insult flung into the face of God. When you were pretending to be an angel, you told me what heaven looks like. How did you know if you haven't been there?
My grandmother told me. She saw it in her dreams. Have no fear of death, Tinita, she said just before she died. Paradise waits in its splendor for all of us.
Do you believe your grandmother?
With all my heart.
Then you spoke the truth to me. You are a brave one in a world that has little use for you.
Then you forgive me.
I don't know.
Oh, he's waking up. Tina, skedaddle to the bedroom.
Oh, Angelica, I had the most amazing dream. My parents and your moms were in the church. Nana Ruth had a big frown on her face, and Jasper was naked. And somebody came in running. They eloped. Everybody go home. Let's get out of here. I don't want to spend one more night as an unmarried man.
You want to run off and get married tonight, just like that?
I have my Venus flytrap. I have you. What more do I need?
Dear Simon, the other question is, what do I need? I've begun to see there are parts of me that are unfinished.
What? You still love me, don't you?
Part of me does. The part of me that wants so badly to make you happy, to be a beautiful bride on her wedding day, to feel I'm part of something, all-American, as wholesome as the flag. But I don't know if that's a good enough reason to promise to spend the rest of our lives together.
Will you tell me what the heck this is all about?
Only if you tell me why you had to drug yourself to get through the wedding.
If you'll excuse us, seems my beloved and I have a lot to discuss. And that's a good thing. I mean, we both lost ourselves in this dust-up over the wedding.
I know I did. But you and me, Simon, when we were jumping over the jumping choya,
You beat me dang near every time.
we didn't care about any show back then.
Stickers and prickers forever.
Oh.
Nana Ruth, any luck tracking down the criminals, criminal gang putting out food and water here at Little Bit of Heaven?
Oh, I've had my eyes peeled. Nothing yet to report.
Well, stay on it. And remember, you're my mole.
Oh, have a good talk, you two. Love you both.
I do not ask for your pity, Mrs. Myrtle, only your understanding.
What is your name? Tina?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, but forgiveness is still such a lot to ask.
A great deal's been written by luminary philosophers essentially on that topic. Kant, Plato, Edith Stein. But frankly, I can't remember a damn thing they said. So you'll get my ideas on forgiveness. In my dottery old mind, it seems to be about putting on a new pair of glasses. Seeing yourself and everybody who has wronged you out of spite or necessity, seeing them through new glasses with the eyes of all humanity. Knowing that we ourselves will always err. We ourselves are made of dust and fragile clay, but if we can forgive, there's hope.
How beautiful, Senor.
My dearest, have you had a spiritual conversion?
Her
A
fault.
mental epiphany? Or have you lost your mind entirely?
Her fault.
Her fault.
She put my hand on her belly, I felt the kick. Shook me up. Don't know what the hell happened. I'm still my old barking fool on the outside, but on the inside, I'm banana pudding on a hot Mississippi day.
Oh, no, banana pudding. Oh, no. My love, I see a man, the man I married.
Thank you, Peepa darling. I can't promise a thing about tomorrow. We all may go to jail or straight to hell. But here now, in this moment, you have the opportunity of forgiveness, Mrs. Myrtle, and that is a mighty thing.
How can I see with new glasses when I am blind? I'm happy to know you are a human woman, Miss Tina. I'm happy to say I forgive you.
Come on out.
Oh, tuck it to the bone, old dog. Oh.
Nap time, Mrs. Gunnison.
My sister and my husband, they have to go to take a nap, and so do I. We're old.
Not you, Nana Sophia.
Oh, yes, me, old. I am Ruth Plunkett, but you are Nana. You are Tina Maria Martinez.
Enjoy your nap.
You rest too, little mama. Help yourself to anything you need.
Sí, gracias.
I'll see you after my nap.
I am safe. But where are you, Miguel? To live here with these people without you? That's no life. Not my life. Send here cranes, naguales, my ancestors in the shape of the birds of Nana Sophia. Esperanza, hope.
Tina, darling, I looked at that cell phone that my granddaughter gave me, and I found a community in the countryside in Guatemala, far from the violence, a community for refugees. Folks there are building schools, training for jobs, cleaning up the water. No, now, you need help to get there. And I will take you and your Miguel and your Esperanza, and I'll fetch your mama too. There, you can hear the pat, pat, pat of the tortillas in the morning. The mighty hawk, Your ancestors flying overhead?
You do not joke with me?
No, no joke. First, we gotta find your Miguel. He's gotta be in one of those holding centers. I'll bribe guards if I have to. Oh, get you both to a safe house in Arizona, and I'll stay there with you until we can get an airplane to your new home.
Your family, they will scream.
Oh, they'll calm down. I'll call them every day like I did in the Gobi Desert. I want this for you. Te adoro, Tina.
Te adoro, Nana Sofia.
Take a break, and then we'll have a discussion.
And then we'll do it again.
So what I thought I'd do is just step right in and show a little piece of New Dawn, Guatemala. You know, of course, our efforts there are in education and scholarships, and also a big emphasis on clean water. They just now, last year, are in the midst of a huge project where they're getting spring water, gravity fed into the community to replace all the issues they have for clean water. So as part of that, our founder, Joe Schweier, wrote this song, Agua para Nuevo Amanecer, and the people of the community, one of the folks in there actually is the videographer and the range of this video. And so I thought I would play it. It's just 4 minutes long. But it's the culmination of the fact that they now have availability to clean water in the process of getting it available for the whole village. So I'll just start it over again, and that's just a little context for this video. And everything is filmed in the village. Everything you see here is in the village. And yeah, it's a great thing.
Agua para los niños que quieren jugar, pa' que los abuelos ya puedan gozar, para cocineros, para alimentar, agua para los novios, para salpicar, agua clara, muy sagrada, agua sana. Para la gente que se para que permanezca. Hay que conservar agua con la misa, todos a lucir. Agua pa' creyentes, para bendecir. Agua, agua, sana y clara. Agua, agua, un nuevo amanecer. Agua sana, apreciada. Agua, agua, un nuevo amanecer. Agua sana, apreciada. Agua, agua, a nuevo amanecer. Agua sana, tan sagrada. Agua, agua, a nuevo amanecer.
All right. So, thank you so much for coming to see the show, and thank you so much for contributing the money to New Dawn Guatemala. Our founder, Joe Schweier, he wasn't here last week because he was attending a funeral, and then he got sick on that funeral, and then he's not attending this week. But Tim Shepard is here. He's our treasurer, too, and so he's here to answer some questions. And so I want to just tell you a little bit of basic things about this organization. Some of you heard a little bit about it when you first came in and were paying for the tickets. New Dawn Guatemala is an organization that's been helping this community of the similar name, Nuevo Amanecer, which means New Dawn in Spanish, for 10, 11 years now. We had our 10th anniversary last year. And that organization, that community has been around for 18 years and was founded after the Guatemalan Civil War. And so it had its roots, and the people in western Guatemala were driven out of their communities because of the violence. And they were in a refugee camp in Chiapas, Mexico, all right? And when the war ended, these people kept their bonds that they made in Mexico, and they came back and founded a community when they got repatriated back to the government, and they gave them a piece of land to live on. And so this is all about these people trying to make themselves independent and democratically self-governing and in a community that's just trying to survive and thrive. So what are the issues they have? Well, some of the big issues were traditionally the only jobs available to the people from that area are working in the coffee fields and in the banana fields. And so that in itself has been suspect with the climate change. But we've had a program very active in scholarships, and Joe has asked me to point out that if you want to contribute $250, that'll fund a student for an entire year, right, Tim? A full year scholarship of a student, $250. So now I've got that done. Oh my God, I said it. Okay. But we do have a program where we have monthly donors and all that. It's all available on our website. But basically, we're trying to make this community self-sufficient by providing them means to get over these big obstacles like climate change and the fact that they just can't, it's really hard to get a foothold for people, basically education there ends when you're 8 for the most part, because, you have to find yourself, the kid has to be paid, transportation has to be paid, they have to have a uniform. Those things are major obstacles. And so they do have a school right there in the community, and then they transition to other programs in local areas where they have like our equivalent to trade schools and community colleges, programs like nursing and mechanics. And, and now I just came back from there 2 weeks ago. I installed satellite internet for them. And I'm hoping that opens the door for some of the, professional career opportunities like being a developer, like what I am, right? And so, hopefully it opens college to them too, because right now that's not a real possibility for these kids. There's one that's studying to be an architect, but the thing is there's such limitations for them to overcome. Another major initiative they're undergoing is going back to the fact that, how they got there in the first place, and that is as part of being refugees from the war. So what they're trying to do is make a historical memory center to commemorate the people that lost their lives there and the region. Now, this is western Guatemala, and this is the area where all of the guerrillas were hanging out, and this is where a big part of the war took place. So in terms of worldwide global recognition, this would be a very appropriate place to commemorate what happened during the war there. So they're actually actively working on that, and there's a joint project with the University of Washington, with the landscape architecture department there, and we're going to develop this historical memory center there. So we've got the memory center, we've got the water project, and we have our ongoing scholarships. And the idea is just to make this community self-sufficient. So definitely happy to answer any questions anybody has about the community.
Well, about your water thing that you just showed us, I mean, can you talk about how that is going to transform the community, or is transforming it?
Yeah, absolutely. So I don't know if you noticed a couple of those shots in the video. They showed kids playing in the river and people washing their clothes in the river.
Yeah.
It's a little hard for me to watch that because there's human waste in that river. So it's just like, wow, it's the Naraha River there. And so what they've done in the past is, now they're in the middle of their dry season now. There's only 2 seasons there. There's wet and there's dry, right? There's not summer, winter, spring. It's wet and dry. Right now it's dry. And so what happens is, there's no water available, so they have to go and bring it from the river. They do have a well system there that the Spanish put in, a couple of hundred years ago, right? I mean, several hundred years ago. But the problem is it only gets charged so often, and then all that dries up, so they're able to pump it into the community. They fill up these big, I can't remember, Tim, do you remember the names of those big sinks? I think it begins with a P. I don't know. There's these giant sinks they have. Anyway, they fill those up, and then the water's gone, and they have to rely on what's in there, right? And so the problem is, obviously, it's just not enough water, right? And so what they have now is that they bought the rights to, there's a lot of, now I'm going to get to my geology side because I'm a geologist too by training. So there is like a lot of volcanic rock there, and there's a lot of areas for actually naturally clean water, believe it or not. And so there's a spring that's 3 miles away that has a situation where it's all filtered through and it's clean. And what they've done is by the gravity feed, they've brought it down in pipes, and they have it in there in a holding tank, and they're able to actually pump it into the community. And so, so that's what this whole effort is about. And then, the ongoing effort is to sustain it when, as the population increases, we have more tracts of land, we can get more rights to the springs. And so the efforts are going to be to try and get the bigger area for drainage to support the community. And so right now they're in the throes of balancing that. And there are some issues with regard to the availability of the spring water. But hopefully those will all be overcome. But this is what makes it an active issue that we're working on. So, yeah. Yes?
How large is the community and what kind of growth do they anticipate?
So it's about 250, 300 people live in the community now. Is that correct?
Yeah, I was going to say 400, but I could be off on that. Maybe a little less than 400.
I think that's about right. And so, it's like everywhere else in Guatemala. There is some some of the youth that don't remain in the community. But the whole idea is to present a way of life that wants them to stay and sustain. If they become a doctor, they come back, right? And that type of thing. So. There's a lot more young people than we have in the United States. There's a lot more, it's a vibrant young area. It's growing. So I don't know what the growth rates are, but, it's much more than we would have in our communities, right? It's instead of just having dwindling schools, their schools are bursting, right? So, so I don't know. These engineers projected that they would need more water. I don't know exactly what the ratios are and what the usage factors are, but they'll need to supplement what they currently have for the near future. Yeah.
Yeah, we're trying to help them stay too. Like the community doesn't want like the kids just grow up and then leave and go to America or go wherever, So in some areas of Guatemala, that happens a lot. So it doesn't happen as much in Nuevo Monasterio. It has happened, but we're trying to help them, have some more opportunities there, so they don't have to relocate.
Yeah, and with the advent of the internet, it's just the idea is that we can supplement their education, in a much bigger way because we can tap into online programs and things like that that, they normally wouldn't have exposure to. There's security, there are things in there that go on like you hear about. Yes, it is down there. They do have gangs, a lot of gangs in Guatemala City. When I just was there 2 weeks ago, and, on my way out, there's this big narco raid on the side of the road, and it's just like, it's there for sure. But in the community is pretty isolated, and they do close off, they close off the gates, the front gate, and we're actually talking about closing off the back gate. There's 2 gates to the community, big, huge road, and there's 2 gates. And so now we're talking about closing off both gates at night, So, yeah, it's unfortunate, but, the optimism there is the president is now, he's like a ray of sunshine there. And so hopefully, you just never know the politics in Central America, but hopefully it's going in the right direction. This guy, Valero, he is the son of one of the reformers from the very beginning, there is hope there, and they're very excited about the new president there. So, and he just took office on the 14th of January or something.
So you were saying there's problems with the coffee production. What are the new economic, what is going to be the engine of the economy there?
That's an excellent question. So, it's the same story in Mexico and in Honduras, El Salvador, Guatemala. It's this unpredictability with regard to climate change. There's just not a stable. They'll have periods where they get 6 inches of rain when they typically would get an inch. And it's just like, and then they'll just go for really long periods of time with no rain at all. And so it pretty much just quashes any crop. And the economics of the coffee situation is our global coffee is like so messed up. It's like the prices have been driven down so low that anybody who's, quasi-independent at all, they just leave their coffee plantations. They don't even sell them, they just leave. So, it's just the way that we've, it's the fair trade coffee or whatever. There's nothing fair about it. These people are just driven out of this living. It's just not available to them anymore. So, I don't know. I guess, with the unpredictable climate change, I don't know from what's agriculturally based that could be dependent upon and predictable for the future. I don't know. Some of the positive things there is that, they've gotten, they're actually getting a lot of different businesses in there that have solar energy now. And maybe the Guatemalan government will mature enough that we could sell some of that back to the grid, but that's certainly not the situation now. We put it in now just for the usage right there. It's interesting because, they're talking about the pat of the tortillas. There is a tortilla mill there, and it actually has solar energy in it. So, we have a tortilla mill. And these are all businesses that just have sprung up in the last 3 years. There's a tortilla mill. There's a Mexican restaurant right at the base of the community. So people see it as they drive by. So they come in and they go to the restaurant, which is really cool. And it's a furniture place that's been kind of thriving for a while. So there's a lot of big changes, and hopefully, it just leads them to be more self-sufficient, right? And they don't have to depend on these things that are going away, So. And they do have a place to stay, a volunteer center, called the Casa Solidarity. And, it's got 3 rooms, and it's a start, We're working on getting it a little more polished than we were used to as Westerners. but it'll get there. I stayed there for a week. It was fine. So, yeah.
Are there, I want to say tourism, but people coming and going into Guatemala? Is it a country that you can stay and feel somewhat safe? There's other countries in that region.
Right. So
there's travel.
Yeah, there's a couple of things
going on.
If you subscribe to the State Department newsletter or the watch list, they're always going to tell you that this is a horrible place. Never go there, right? That's Yeah, no. I got on a public bus there, and I was fine. I just flew in there. I got the taxi guy to take me to the bus. It was a little scary when I came back because it was really late at night. I had to get a taxi back to the airport after the bus dropped me off. But, you know, for the most part, the people are just like so genuine and so, you know, I just went to security guards, you know. I mean, they all got these big rifles and stuff. You know, help me out, you know, and they got me a taxi and it really wasn't an issue. You know, traditionally, Guatemala has had big tourist areas around, you know, certainly Antigua, you know, you've probably heard of that. It's a big UNESCO site, you know, so it's got a, you know, a heritage site. That's a huge major tourist. If you go there, you'll see more Europeans than anybody from the United States. There's just Europeans everywhere there. The other thing is in the kind of the central part, I guess you would say, is Lake Panachel and Lake Tititlan, huge big tourist destinations. You can go there very safely, and you know you can just take a bus after you arrive in the airport. So all those things are very, very safe.
Yeah, I was going to say too, Nuevo Monasterio would love to have you go there as a tourist. They are working on that. They have people that are being trained to be chefs, and there's the Casa Solidaria, and yeah, so there is sort of a program to have people come, so you can come visit. I have been there. Yeah,
and we got people from the university trying to get, like, you know, what we would do as a community to get to that point in time. And one of the things is that I mentioned the water being 3 miles away. So what they've done, if you go to that 3 miles, and we walked it last year, or no, I'm sorry, 5 years ago we walked it. It's been 5 years. But anyway, there were all these rubber trees all along the place. Now, rubber trees are not native to Guatemala, and they actually are poisonous to, like, their most prized national bird. So it's really bad. So what the community has done is, in that 3 mile stretch, is they ripped out all of the rubber trees, and they've planted all native ones, and they're making a path. So the idea is that when the eco-tourists come, we can take them to the headwaters of the spring, and they can walk back along this really nice nature trail safely back right into the community, right? And so it's things like that, and we're going to try and enhance it by having, like, outdoor gardens and stuff, along with the memory center that has commemorate everything that's gone down in Guatemala, right? And so it'll be a place for somebody who is an eco-tourist / you know, kind of a history-based tourist or whatever to go down there. They would find this interesting because we would try to coordinate with other places and almost make a circuit, right? You know, there are other places down there. There is an Olmec ruins site down there, which is really fascinating. Yeah, so there's a number of places that, you know, would be a good destination, you know, and I worked for Expedia for 6.5 years, and they actually have, like, places they designate as, like, run by indigenous peoples, and that would certainly qualify, right? You know, all these people got indigenous roots that are in this community, so, yeah. Ed?
Yeah, so how is the violence, you know, with the gangs and the former death squads and all of that stuff with the new administration, what are they doing about that?
Yeah, so there was actually a bit of violence associated with the transition of power, right? And so that in itself, I hate to say it, but it was actually a good sign, right? Because if they had so much trouble letting go, because this is the situation that was beforehand. We did have a lot of negative connotation associated with government programs. We saw some violence right in the immediate area there, where you know, people who were involved in the government would suddenly disappear, right? And this is a historical trend, right? Going back to during the war, because this was very prevalent during the war. The area they're in is a lot more geared towards the left side of the political spectrum, but, you know, surprisingly, the big party there, which is called UNRG, it really has not had ability to get its successful roots there. So Guatemalan, you know, they're trying to take the middle of the road kind of politically on a lot of these things. So you know, all that stuff is there for sure. I think a lot of the drug violence is centered around Guatemala City. But it certainly is there. I went into a store and I asked about, you know, they told me, well, you know, the guy who ran the store just showed up and got murdered, like, you know, 2 months ago because he didn't make a protection payment, you know. And so, I mean, that stuff does happen here, but, you know, it happens there too. Again, the steps that they take to try and isolate themselves, well, they try to be self-sufficient, number one, And two, now they're physically going to try and, isolate themselves at the front gates. They close the gate to the community at 8:45 at night. So it's not like, there's tons of people coming in and out, all the time. Most of the people there know each other, and they can recognize somebody who's trying to do ill will to them. So, but it definitely is there. But hopefully, with the new president, it's going to improve. Yes.
In Elizabeth's play, there, at the end, there was this idea of, this woman and her family are going to go to this community. Is that a thing? I mean, can any Guatemalan go and live there, or are there restrictions given? How does that work?
So, it's interesting. They do have like a community charter. I think they do actually put property up for sale occasionally there.
It's not a huge play, like it wouldn't. It's not like tens of thousands of people could move there, But I think people could come. I mean,
there's not restrictions on.
Right. And it's there. It's actually families there that this one huge place, and they're he's from the United States, and he just sends money down. Just it's the biggest place in the village.
Well, and I rewrote the end of that play so many times over the years. Actually, the very first version of this was done in a reading 20 years ago.
Wow.
And Bob was in it. Some of us, and Tim was in it. Yeah. It took many, many forms over the years. There were characters that came and went. I think this is the best coalesced version of it. But right up until I found New Dawn Guatemala, I was struggling with the ending. Does she stay and, take care of Miss Myrtle and move in? And that's the answer to that.
Right.
Or, is there some other answer? And I thought, I just couldn't do it. Finally, I said, well, if they're going to sponsor this and they're going to be here, how can I end the play with, we're staying in America and we're one more, And it didn't feel right in terms of what was best for the Guatemalan character. So I just I didn't use the term New Dawn Guatemala, but I was imagining, this is an effort. This is something that's happening maybe all through Central America and other countries where there's this horrible problem with it. Look at Venezuela. My God, there's got to be, and it's not going to happen through politics. I don't think our government is going to go down there and do what these people are doing. It's citizen diplomacy and projects like this.
It's word of mouth, hand to hand.
Yeah.
An interesting side story to that is when I was down there, we actually decided to have somebody act as a liaison in the community that knows English. And there's only one guy. There's candidates one, but we make sure that the community is all on board with anything that we suggest. And so they actually voted on it, and they said yes, we would like him in this position. And so we, over the years, have had so much help from Rotary in the United States. We've had a lot of grants associated with developing water, specifically like we would revive the old Spanish well, and then we would, all these other small investigatory projects for the big water project. They would fund these things, right? And so when I was down there 5 years ago, I met with the Rotary. We all sat down and we met with the Rotary, and it was very interesting. And so when we had this position, we said, we should really have this Lionel, he should be on the Rotary down in the closest community, which is Cotepeque, right? And so, lo and behold, he says, Dan, I need you to go to this meeting with me. And now my Spanish is okay. I can sort of get around, and I can understand like 30% of what's being said, especially when they're... So they invite me in, and they sit down, and right away, I'm getting this feeling from these guys, these vibes. And I've met them before 5 years ago. I remember these guys, 3 or 4 of these guys in this Rotary. But they were like, didn't recognize me at all, but that's okay. That's not a problem. But this vibe came out like, you really don't want to be part of the Rotary. We'll just help you. You just ask for help and we'll help you. And I listened to this for about 20 minutes, and I realized we're kind of part of their regular meeting. And so I saw the wooden hammer there, and I saw the big Rotary thing. I thought, we have a limited time here. And so I stood up and I said, look, I said, we want him to be part of this community because we want to be outward facing to other communities. We want to give to other communities. We want him to show what we're doing here and help other people, because that's what you're all about, is right, helping other communities. why not have him be part of helping other communities? And they stood back and they looked at me like, but they said they would get the application in for him. So, mission accomplished. I hope it happens. But, that's an example of, maybe it's not just that community, but so many of them are very similar and they're all fighting the same issues. And maybe if another one can get the internet, or they come to that community and they actually use their internet for some education thing one night a week or whatever. So it's like they can help themselves and just kind of sort of get a groundswell, right? So hopefully that'll be a little more along the lines of, it's not just this community that wants to stay, maybe it's like a region that wants to stay in Guatemala, right? Yeah.
Well, because climate change is affecting everything, right, in that whole region. So everybody's got to, I would hope. That's a great story. I really hope they work out.
Thank you so much, everyone, for all of your help. It's really very appreciated.